Invaded our schools, families have had to educate their students in creative ways. Today on News 12 Now, we meet a family that used the power of writing to help their children cope with the pandemic. In tonight's What's Right with Our Schools.
The Invasion of COVID-19, written and illustrated by Kian Moss and Kenna Moss.
I was homeschooling Kian, and then the COVID came in, and then all three of the kids came over here for their schooling, and they were a nervous wreck about the COVID. So I said, let's forget about all liberal arts and English. This is what we're going to do. I want you to write me a book, and I want you to illustrate it.
The VC, virus crushers, put their plan into action.
And I explained to them, I said, I don't want to hear that Kian and Kenna ran. I want to know how they ran. Did they run energetically? Did they run anxiously? I said, use your adverbs. Let's teach you how to use a thesaurus, and let's write a book. This is where you get to beat. You get to defeat the virus. We want to annihilate it, get rid of it. And they came up with the story. And since then, they have not had the anxiety that they had before.
The reason why we wrote the book was because we wanted to make people feel more like much better than for what's going on, so they won't be so too nervous about getting corona.
It would also make them realize that things don't last forever.
So they did all the illustrations themselves. We did not help at all. And it was also kind of a stress relief because not only do they all have anxiety disorders, Kian is also on the spectrum. He also has, his sensory. They're both severe ADHD, so they had a lot that they kind of were doing their own battle. Kids aren't supposed to know what a pandemic is. They're not supposed to know what quarantine is. They're kids.
We didn't tell them how to write anything, but they both realized that they had to work together and use their superpowers combined, because he used his laser beam and she used her ice to create a vapor to kill the COVID. Their strength drew from each other, and combined they could kill that COVID, and I loved that.
The victorious end.
If you have an idea for a story, go to our website, WDEF.com. Look for the icon that says What's Right with Our Schools, and you'll find a link to post your story idea.